Hey friends, Damian Mason coming at you on Earth Day. That's right, April 22nd, with a message I would like you to share with all of your friends, agricultural and particularly non-agricultural friends who might be hearing a bit of misinformation today. I've got 3 facts versus myths as it pertains to the world's most important industry, that is food production, the business of agriculture. First off, organic is not necessarily better for the environment or better for planet Earth. Oftentimes we hear this, and if you spend enough time at Whole Foods, you'll hear these sort of claims. But the reality is, organic agriculture does still use chemicals. That's right, there's an entire list of approved herbicides and insecticides and pesticides that can be used in organic food production. Also, organic food production requires a tremendous amount more tillage because we don't have as much chemistry that is proven to take care of the weeds. What does tillage do? It makes soil more vulnerable to soil erosion. Also, to do all that tillage, we use a lot of fossil fuels. So we're doing a lot of emissions of carbon dioxide. We're doing a lot of driving over the soils and tilling it, which can cause erosion issues, and they still do use chemistry. Also, there is less yield per acre because obviously it is less conventional and less scientifically advanced. Therefore, you get less yield per acre, which means you would require more acres to get the same amount of caloric production. Myth number 1, organic food production is not better for the environment than conventional agricultural practices. Number 2, meat consumption is not destroying the planet. Now, you will be told by various sources that the quickest thing we can do is stop eating meat. Bill Gates, even a year or so ago, said that we should, in fact, probably have regulation that requires wealthy countries like America to switch to a synthetic beef diet. Convenient for Bill Gates since he's a large investor in fake meat companies. Cut through the propaganda. Many of those organizations or individuals that are footing this bill to tell you about the evils of meat are profiting from the consumption of non-meat products. Let me tell you another couple of thoughts about meat consumption. First off, it's natural. Humans are omnivorous. We eat anything. Humans need protein. Animals provide protein. Another thing you should probably consider. Beef, which gets a tremendous amount of beef over this whole environmental issue, is actually a lot of times utilizing such things as cellulose, grasses, things that humans can't ingest and digest, and then by eating it turns cellulose into digestible protein. So in other words, we're actually utilizing part of our environment which sequesters carbon, that is grass in our pastures, and goes all about the natural system of sequestering carbon, putting cellulose into an animal that we can then eat. The statements about livestock destroying the planet are much overstated. Always follow the money and ask yourself who is giving you that. Third fact versus myth when it comes to the business of agriculture. Climate change is not causing food shortages. I have heard this claim by various organizations that again have some problem with modern agriculture. The reality is climate change, if it is happening here in the United States of America to the degree we're being told, has actually given us more precipitation and warmer temperatures. Generally good things when it comes to producing food. But the reality is modern agriculture has been so good with genetics, with all of the science that we apply to this industry, we are getting more yields per acre every year than we ever have. In other words, we are adapting quite nicely. If there are food shortages, it's because of such things as Russia invading Ukraine. It's because of supply chain issues or food being used as a battle token, as a bargaining token, or as a weapon, which commonly happens. There are not food shortages right now because of climate change. There are food shortages for many other reasons, usually socio and political reasons and economic reasons, but not because of climatic reasons. Organic is not necessarily better for the environment. In fact, I can make a lot of cases I already have that it is not better for the environment at all. It's worse for the environment. Meat consumption is not destroying the planet. Look at the amount of greenhouse gas emissions that come from so many other sources and then compare them if you get real data about what livestock does, and it's minuscule. Also remember that if we didn't eat meat, we would still have to eat protein because humans require protein. So to assume that somehow we don't have any emissions if we stop eating meat is a misnomer. Why? Because we're still going to have to produce such things as legumes, as peas, as lentils, and there's going to be a tremendous amount more emphasis put into that. Therefore, we're going to be using more fossil fuels, etc., to get the right amount of protein. And thirdly, as I already stated, climate change is not causing food shortages. You are not going to die anytime soon because of any climate change, at least not because of the food availability. Food availability is an issue, but it's not because of our inability to adapt to what is happening in our natural world. Damian Mason sharing with you an Earth Day message that I would like you to share with all of your friends, agricultural and non-agricultural alike. Know this, that because modern agriculture is so good at adapting and we've applied such tremendous tools and lessons to food production in places like North America, that we use less natural resources per calorie of food produced than has ever happened in the history of humans endeavoring in agriculture. So in 10,000 years, we have come along so well to use less natural resources per calorie of human food consumption, production than we have ever done in 10,000 years. Congratulations. Thank you, agriculture. Please share this with your friends, and happy Earth Day.